My biggest fear in life is that this man may never witness our full takeover. Yes, he may never witness that. He already witnessed our partial takeover, our little success in America. And he is the reason actually I know that the community in America is thriving. He is how I know. It's like, he's how we measure our progress. If he doesn't tweet, somebody messed up. I know it. Somebody fucked up the plan. If he tweet, I know. I know. We're doing the right things. Yes. That's how I know. So, he's old and sick, I know. He may not witness our full takeover. But I promise you that his sons will witness. Just like him. We came to exist in this country. See? The land of free men. The land of opportunities. And we're here. Yes. And we're not leaving, actually. We're not going back. What do you mean go back? You should go back first. You see? If you come first, you go first. See? Just like you. Tell me how you own this land. Explain to the world how this land became your land. Tell the world.
This is all I know.
I was only 3 years old when I came, and this is my home, and this has got to stop.
I'm not scared, so I'm citizen. I'm happy. I'm United States. I brought up America. I'm happy. So why you asking me? Some guys asking me, give me basmati, give me green card. Why? Why you asking me?
Almost every Somali person living here is a citizen.
There's more than 100,000 Somalis in Minnesota. Roughly 84,000 reside in the metro. The journey from Somalia started decades ago.
My family immigrated here to Minneapolis, to Minnesota in 1993. As my father says, we came to a cold place, but we found people with warm hearts.
My parents wanted to provide us a good opportunity for us to chase after that American dream, right?
Many fleeing from civil war, crossing continents for a chance to build something, a chance for their children. For Sumaya Mahmoud, her parents' struggle paved the way for her to shine. Despite the rhetoric, she's grateful to be Somali and American.
One thing they taught me was resilience and not letting, other people's perception of you limit what you can do for yourself. I was born in Kenya, and then I grew up here, started kindergarten, K through 12, all the way up to college here in Minnesota. So
I hear you, but I'm telling you, this is the land of my people. Minnesota was promised to us 3,000 years ago. My ancestors have been here for generations. In fact, hold on, I'll show you a picture. So this right here is a picture of my great-great-great-grandfather, Farah Ismail Abdullahi Jibril Agmadige, having tea with the Native American chief of the Dakota tribe right next to Lake Minnetonka. And this is right here. This is him fighting alongside the natives in 1816. In fact, the name Minnesota is Somali. Minan means home. Soda means there she is. Minnesota, home, there she is. That's what it means to us. Just look at the state flag of Minnesota, right? And how much it looks like the flag of Somalia. It's there to remind us of the pilgrimage our great-grandparents made to make it to the promised land of Minnesota, from the sea to the lakes.
To all the Somalians who are posting video claiming that Minnesota was promised to you 3,000 years ago, that would put you back 1000 BC. You guys have an entire synopsis of where the word Minnesota derived from. How about you explain to the American people how you were promised Minnesota that never existed then to your people? Because 3,000 years ago puts you 1,000 before Christ. Given that y'all got free education, free housing, free food, free internet, may you explain to the rest of the world how you were promised Minnesota when there was no Minnesota then. Hell, Christopher Columbus didn't even find America yet. So how are you promised Minnesota 3,000 years ago? It's a legit question. Can you? I'm waiting.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. This is where we discuss educational content. This is where we dissect social, political, economic issues that are happening in the United States. And brothers and sisters, for the longest time, for the past 2 weeks, we've been hearing the issue of Somali, the Minnesota-Mogadishu relationship, and how all these things is going on right now. I understand Americans are giving the Somalis backlash for the claims that they can take over the United States. They want to take over America, right? And we have some of them that have claims that the United States, specifically Minnesota, was a place that was promised to them by the early forefathers of them who was in the United States. There is something that I don't understand, right? Because look, we had black people in the United States before, according to history. When you get to look at history, when you leave what Columbus said about the United States. And we've also been hearing the Somalis saying that they were in the United States like 3,000 years ago. And so they belong, right? They belong. They identify as Americans. That's their claim. They belong. But what I want to say, or what I want to do in this video, I want us to look into history and look at all these, migration patterns between the Somalis, the relationship between the Somalis and the United States. So in this video, I'm going to help dissect these question, right? This issue in question, because it is something to discuss about. But generally, what I like to say upfront is that I don't think there is a great connection between the Somalis and the United States, because this is the little research that I did, and I think I want to do a presentation in regards to this. But before that, I'm going to let you watch the video, what people say in regards to this, because these are opinions of people, and this is how the people of the United States feel, and also how the Somalis feel. So this is a fair ground, but we are going to make it as educational as possible. So let's keep watching the video. I'll be back, and then I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this.
Y'all out there, the Somalians is talking reckless. Y'all is talking reckless, especially it's one Somalian. I don't even know if I should call him brother, because they don't want to be identified. They're not like us. So whatever, it's a Somalian man or Somali American man talking directly to Trump, saying, hey, Trump, you go first. You leave first. You think we leaving? We ain't going nowhere. You going first. Show us how you own this country. He is talking big and reckless. This is ours. He's saying we ain't going nowhere. If y'all think we going somewhere, y'all got another thing coming. Y'all haven't even witnessed the takeover. They saying, Trump, you witnessed a small part of the takeover, but you ain't witnessed the total degree of what the Somalians have came to do. I mean, they talking, listen, some people could learn some stuff from them, about how arrogant they is about this country that they are taking over. Gosh, I'm just saying, this whole Somalian thing, I'm trying my best to not like get emotionally attached or invested into it, but it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. I'm gonna keep y'all posted, because they talking reckless.
So what you're basically experiencing right now is this guy is going viral because he's basically saying that Trump won't live. His only regret is that Trump won't live to see how the Somali people will actually take over the United States of America, but his sons will live to see it. And I look at that personally as a threat against the President of the United States of America. And it's amazing to me the level of arrogance that we see taking place by these people in the U.S. And again, it's not even about if people are supposed to be here legally. It's about the arrogance. It's about trying to transform the culture. It's about the attitude, the disposition. It's about the fraud. It's also about the fact that the majority of them are on social services, which means that it's our taxpayer dollars that's taking care of them, while many of them drive luxury vehicles, and then they feel entitled. And if you go into the comments of some of these videos that y'all are sending me, you then see them in the comments saying, oh, no, this is our land. This was promised to us. This is ours. Anybody that says anything against us is wrong, and we're not leaving. And I dare you to say something. And I think that they've been empowered and emboldened by even our legislator, Ilhan Omar. And so now they feel compelled or they feel comfortable enough to be able to talk negatively about our president of the United States of America. And this is why Trump has a disposition. So when I then see people, regardless of your color, but I do see more white people than ever before, white women, specifically liberals, that continue to support this bullshit, it amazes me how much you are against the United States of America.
How this land became your land. Tell the world.
Y'all out there, the Somali.
Good morning, friends. So Stephen Miller announced yesterday that the Trump administration has launched a full-scale investigation into the Somali fraud in Tim Walz, Minnesota. He said that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota is the single greatest theft of taxpayers' dollars through welfare fraud in American history. He said that what they're about to uncover is going to shock the American people. I don't believe anything shocks us at this point anymore. And right on cue, Somali activists are out full force, bragging out there about what they did and about taking over this country. They are bragging brazenly.
My biggest fear in life is that this man may never witness our full takeover.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
he may
little
never
boy,
witness
show us what
that.
you can do.
He already witnessed our partial takeover, our little success in America.
He sounds
And
just like
he is the
Ilhan
reason,
Omar.
actually, I know that the community in America is thriving.
Thriving.
He is how I know. It's like, he's how we measure our progress. If he doesn't
Progress
tweet,
by stealing our
somebody messed up.
taxpayers'
I know
money.
somebody fucked up the plan. If he tweet, I know. I know we're doing the right things. Yes, that's how I know. So, he's old and sick, I know. He may not witness our full takeover.
Okay,
But I
little
promise
boy.
you that his sons will witness. Just like him, we came to exist in this country. See? The land of free men. The land of
Go back to your
opportunities.
country.
And we're here. Yes. And we're not leaving, actually.
We're
We're not
gonna
going
leave.
back. What do you mean go back? You should go back first. You see? If you come first, you go first.
Freaking.
Just like you.
Did you get what he was saying? He said, my biggest fear in life is that this man may never witness our full takeover. He's talking about Trump. He said he already witnessed our partial takeover, our little success in America. He is how we measure our progress. If he doesn't tweet, I know somebody messed up the plan. If he tweets, I know we're doing the right thing. He said he's old and sick about Trump. He may not witness our full takeover, but I promise you his sons will. He goes further, mocking Americans, mocking the idea of borders, mocking the people whose country he believes he now owns. He goes on to say, we came here and we're not leaving. What do you mean go back? You should go back first. He's telling President Trump to go back first. So you tell me, is this a guy that wants to come and assimilate and seek better life? Is this real immigration? This is ideological conquest rhetoric. This is a triumphalist language. This is a supremacist language. And unfortunately, this is the same exact thing that happened in the UK, the Netherlands, the Germany, France, Sweden, Belgium, every country that opened its doors and ignored the warning signs. This is what's happening to them. And now it's here in America, on camera, unashamed, unmasked. What are we gonna do about it? I mean, guys, look at the patterns. They are identical everywhere, from mass migrations to parallel communities to demographic dominance, open political movements, aggressive cultural demands, open talk of takeover. And I'm afraid by the time Congress wakes up, it's too late. President Trump told the truth about what's happening with the Somali community in America. America must learn from the nations already failing under the same exact pressure. So I'll say it again for the libtards in the back. If a foreigner is in your country and demanding you accept their culture as yours or change your beliefs for that person's religious needs, that's not an immigrant. That's an invader. That's a hostile present in your country. Okay? They want to destroy your beliefs and your culture to invade and conquer. Get it in your little brains. Okay.
Hello everyone, Senator Omar Fateh here. I'm in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood, and I wanted to speak to you about what we've been seeing here in the Twin Cities area, as well as throughout the state of Minnesota. President Trump has the full force of the federal government targeting the Somali community. What we've been seeing is that our neighbors have been detained, at times even American citizens, and families have been torn apart. But I want to let you all know that it does not have to be this way, and that you do have rights, and I want to run them by you. First, when ICE or an ICE agent comes to your door, you have the right not to open and to request information. You can ask for a judicial warrant that's signed by a judge. If they have a judicial warrant, not an administrative warrant. We saw that play out earlier today in the F building, in the towers behind me, in which an ICE agent came saying that they had a warrant to search the premises. We had Representative Mahmoud Noor, who did a great job in speaking with them and saying that, well, not so fast. You need to have a judicial warrant and not an administrative warrant. And of course, they tried to play dumb and act like they didn't know the rules. But in the end, they left the scene. And so that's what's needed right now. We need people that know their rights. We're having a lot of the boots on the ground organizations do a lot of great work. Folks like MIRAC and Care Minnesota and folks like that have been providing know your rights training, legal counseling and things like that. I'm going to provide a link in this caption for the link tree with a whole host of information about how you can get involved. I had a lot of folks reaching out asking how they can help best support their neighbors, and you can do so in a number of ways. Click on the link tree, get involved with those organizations. I know a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of folks have been forming group chats and on WhatsApp and Signal and things like that, letting folks know where ICE is and how to best support each other and things like that. So now is the time to get involved. In times like this, it's going to take an all-hands-on-deck approach. And so please tap in below.
What we were told over and over again is if that we go over there and we fight them over there, we will not have to fight them here. And I come home and what are we seeing? We're seeing entire communities being taken over by the very people that we fought to keep off of our shores.
Do you mean the people who legally migrated here, legally settled, legally working, legally voting, legally organized? That's not takeover. That's America working exactly what America is designed. Yeah. I don't know why you're branding this as a community takeover. This is literally American history, right? You got Chinatown here. You have Greek town. You got Little Italy. Hello, right? When Europeans build a community, you want to call it culture. When Somalis build a community, you want to brand it as takeover? What? Sheesh. It's hate. That's what it is. It's hate. Sheesh.
The way people are talking about Somalis now is the same exact way decades ago people talked about the Irish and Italian immigrants. They're coming here to commit crime. They're coming here to leech off the public dollar. They're here to support foreign interests. Like, there was a narrative about Irish and Italian immigrants that they came here to replace the president with the Pope. Like, people said that. That was a genuine belief that people had. That was a way that they fearmongered about immigrants coming from Ireland and Italy.
Wait, that's awesome.
It's the same shit every single time. The only reason people are talking about Somalis like this now, or they were talking about the Irish and Italians like that back then, is because it's just fear-mongering about a scary other group.
They thought they were going to replace the president with the Pope?
There was an actual idea that Catholicism was fundamentally incompatible with democracy.
Old school
that it could not
racism
work.
was so insane, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still around. Like, we still have shit that's almost as absurd as that going on now, but it's always wild to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, after having moved past it reasonably. Oh my God.
Well, you can't tell me that, like, anti-Catholic bias still exists meaningfully when a dude like J.D. Vance can have power.
Exactly. That's why it's funny.
Like, he's an adult Catholic convert, and he's the vice president.
And he will not shut up about it.
Exactly. But my point is that, like, people will induce a psychosis in themselves to convince themselves that, like, the scary other coming into the country is somehow bad when they're just regular dudes looking for work. Like, I cannot express how much they're like Somalis or any immigrant, really. They're just regular people. And the reason politicians fearmonger about them is because they want to use your fear to gain and hold on to power.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you're doing great from whatever you're watching me from. Now, there is something that I tried to look up into, the relationship between the Somali and the United States and the claims that they have that they had a relationship like 3,000 years ago. So brothers and sisters, let us have a dissection of this. Let's have a talk in regards to this. Now, the large Somali population in Minnesota is as a result of the late 20th century refugee flows, not ancient settlement. The civil war in Somalia during the 1990s pushed many families into refuge camps in Kenya and Ethiopia, from where thousands were settled in the United States. Minnesota's welcoming policies, affordable housing at that time, and existing East African communities created what scholars call secondary immigration. Right? Once a few families settled there, more followed, creating one of the largest Somali diasporas in the world. And in this context, Minnesota became more than a place of residence. It became a center for rebuilding shattered communities, establishing mosques, establishing businesses and political networks. So I hope you all understand how all these things happen, right? It was a result of, the Somalis who were seeking refuge, right? They were seeking refuge. It was not like they had predominantly a population in the United States, because all these things happened in the late 19th centuries and the early 20th century, when Somalis were seeking refuge in different places. And as I said, some of them came to Kenya, some of them went to Ethiopia, right? Let's talk about the question of promised land. Yeah, this is a rhetoric that has been used so much by the Somalis, as we've watched the video, right? Now, when Somali community members claims Minnesota is their promised, quote unquote, promised land, this is not a historical claim. This is about literal ownership of 3,000 years ago. Instead, it is a diaspora metaphor, right? It is a diaspora metaphor, and I'm going to be explaining. It is a way of expressing that Minnesota offered refuge, it offered restoration and dignity after war and displacement. Now, sociologists who study immigrant identity note that communities often use religious or mythic language to give emotional weight to their journeys, right? Now, calling Minnesota a promised land signals gratitude. It signals belonging. It signals the belief that this place is now part of their destiny as people who have endured suffering. Another point that I'm going to talking about is the politics of belonging and the American narrative of inclusion. This is also an important part. You understand that, and I mean, this is true about America. America is about confusion. America is about chaos. It's about always creating chaos so that people get confused, right? Now, America constantly struggles with this question: who belongs? Now, immigrant groups throughout the history, from Germans to Irish to Jews to Mexicans, were accused of being outsiders or invaders, right? Over time, each group claimed its place within American fabric. Somali rhetoric in Minnesota reflects the same pattern, asserting belonging in the face of political hostility. When a group claims this is our home, it is a political act of refusing marginalization. They are essentially saying that citizenship, contribution, community building give them a legitimate stake in Minnesota's future. But do you think that that's what it really means on the ground? Honestly, I don't think that really means on the ground, because while the document that I'm using states that it just shows that they want to be piece of belonging, which is not bad, which is okay. But understand the American tactics. It is always about creating chaos. It is always about dividing. It is always about giving news to people. People get confused. People fight each other. To some extent, even the things that people don't understand. So you get how all these things happen, right? Deportation debates and immigrant resident. The heightened national conversation about deportations, especially under Donald Trump, has triggered fear and resistance among immigrant groups. Now, for Somalis who have built mosques, businesses, and community organization in Minnesota, deportation is not just a community. It's not just a legal threat. It is a threat to their identity and stability. Scholars describe this as immigrant defensive citizenship. When a group feels attacked, they double down on asserting their right to exist in a place. This is our country too sentiment is a direct response to political pressure, an attempt to push back against narratives that depict them as temporary or unwanted. Also in this line, the symbolic meaning of Minnesota for Somalis. Minnesota provides something extremely rare in diaspora politics, concentrated settlements. When tens of thousands of people from one cultural group share neighborhoods, they share schools, they share markets, they share religion centers, right? The place gained symbolic meaning. For Somalis, Minneapolis, St. Paul's became a hub of cultural preservation. Language, Islam, food, marriage customs, community elders, even media networks. This creates a sense that Minnesota is not just where they live, but where they rebuild Somali in exile. Over time, the territory gains an emotional and almost sacred dimension. The idea that Minnesota was theirs 3,000 years ago should be understood as mythic or symbolic, not historical fact, right? Because communities sometimes create foundational myths to maintain unity when facing hostile political climates. These myths are not meant to they're not meant to be literal. They function as identity building tools. They tell members, we are not guests here. We belong. We have roots that cannot be erased. Whether or not the story is factual, its psychological function is to strengthen the community's sense of purpose and solidarity. Now, immigrant debates in the United States often heightens anxieties, especially during election cycles. Somalis, like other Black and Muslim immigrant groups, face layered discrimination, racial, religious, and political, when political actors intensify anti-immigrant rhetoric. These communities brace themselves. Sociologists observe that groups under threat often react with strong symbolic counterclaims. Thus, statements like Minnesota is our land are actually a form of resistance of being scapegoated rather than literal rewriting of history, right? So, I really don't know what you feel about this, right? I want to know what you think and feel about this video, because it is really important for us to have a discussion in regards to all these things that are happening, because they form part and parcel of everything that you see that is happening in the United States. So brothers and sisters, please let me know what you think about this video. I'm your host and presenter Legitimacy Stories, your number one host and presenter Legitimacy Stories. Please let's watch the video until the end, then I'll say thank you for your time. Thank you for taking your time watching the video, and all those who are always coming back watching your videos, right? So please make sure to check if you're subscribed to the channel, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from my channel. I don't know why, but this is happening, right? So please, I'll be appreciative if you do that. Check kindly if YouTube has unsubscribed you from my channel unknowingly, right? So until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.